is the role of the government? Why do we even have a government? Well, from a religious and theological, biblical-based perspective, the government is there to protect you. There are many verses, but Romans 13 is a great one about how the government's sole role is to be established by our Creator in order to provide for protection, in order to wield the sword against the wicked. The terror of the government should be felt by the wicked, it says. And it is high time for our government to begin to take very seriously the terror of left-wing domestic terrorism that has been a scourge on this nation for the better part of the decade, but really reaching a ratcheting up during the BLM riots, the congressional baseball shooting, then leading to President Trump's catching of a bullet in his head, the killing of a member of the MAGA movement, Corey Comperentor, 3 other people getting shot at that rally, fast forward through multiple other assassination attempts on President Trump's life, a successful execution of Charlie Kirk that was, of course, preceded by the wholesale slaughter by somebody who is only on a bus in Charlotte because of left-wing policies. You can begin to see then in the reaction of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of leftists celebrating these events, that there is a domestic terrorist movement among the left. It is very critical that the rulers of our nation understand this and that they set about the dismantling and wholesale destruction of ideological movements that seek to commit acts of violence in this nation. Stephen Miller just went scorched earth nuclear, speaking with Vice President Vance on Charlie Kirk's show. As God is my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at DOJ, Homeland Security, and throughout the government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks. We will do it in Charlie's name, says Stephen Miller. How serious is all of this? Well, something that didn't really get a lot of coverage this past weekend was that in Utah, there was a terrorist event against Fox News. The FBI has arrested 2 for placing a bomb under a Fox News vehicle. The device prompted home evacuations as suspects are taken into custody. Let's read. FBI has arrested 2 men. Their bomb was found underneath a Fox 13 News vehicle in Salt Lake, according to official reports. The suspects, Adib Nasir, 58, and Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir, 31, are facing multiple charges, including threat of terrorism, possessing weapons of mass destruction, and possessing explosive devices. Where are these 2 from? Are they here legally? Where exactly are these 2 from? I'd like to know their background. How did they get into this country? Exactly. No, like seriously, like are they on work visas? Are they citizens? Are they here illegally? Are they here for some type of extended program? Are they refugees? These are big questions. The device was found on Friday, September 12th, determined to be real. Fox 13 reported officials say the device had been lit but failed to function. So they lit a bomb to blow up a Fox News truck. Salt Lake City Police Bomb Squad, Unified Fire Authority, Arson Bomb Squad located the device. This was parked next to an occupied building, so it could have clearly killed and maimed people terribly. Documents seen by Fox News Digital also show that because of the nature of the device and its placement, the incident constituted a significant threat to public safety. Obviously, the FBI's Salt Lake City office ultimately assumed jurisdiction over the search. Investigators traced the device back to the home where both suspects lived. You can see they have anti-Trump signage in their yards. Federal agents served a search warrant on the property. Bomb squad ensured it was safe. Inside, officers found 2 hoax weapons of mass destruction, firearms, bomb-making equipment, illegal drugs. Nearby homes in the neighborhood had to be evacuated. Investigators said that in addition to explosive materials, officers found firearms, firearm-related illegal narcotics, electronic devices, reasonably believed to contain evidence of the crime. Authorities said that the suspect's actions posed a significant risk to mass casualties. These individuals are being held in the Salt Lake County Jail. They're working closely with law enforcement, safety of the employees. So here you can see out front of the home is anti-Trump signage. So this is further left-wing terrorism. More left-wing terrorism. That wasn't the only sign they had out front of their house. Is he dead yet? Presumably, I mean, it has to be referring to President Trump. Our Fox affiliate in Salt Lake confirms incendiary device found under one of their news vehicles. 2 arrested. Device is left under the vehicle. Again, Adib Nasir and Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir. What's their background? Where are they from? What are their affiliations? This, I mean, listen, what happened to Charlie was one of the worst things, the worst political assassination anyone in my generation's ever seen. This, 48 hours afterwards, could have killed also dozens, hundreds of people. It said it was next to an occupied building. Was the point to blow up the van next to the building? I work directly behind Fox News. Somebody tried to light their cars on fire this morning. You can see one of the guys with the bomb squad just over my Tacoma. So if they had succeeded in blowing up this building, how many would have been killed? There are also spates of further evacuations around Charlie Kirk's home concerning information. Unclear what it is related to. So they had to evacuate right outside of Charlie Kirk's home. Utah bomb plot failed. The device had been lit. So they're like, this is what they were clearly intended. The point of this is mass murder and terrorism. Why do we know nothing about this? There's too much going on right now. That's why. Too much going on. But they were intending to create another terrorist event. 2 men arrested. Do we have any mugshots? Nothing. They lit the bomb. Goodness. Terrorism in Utah, planting bombs under media vehicles. Less than an hour away from the college where Charlie Kirk was politically assassinated. So it has to be seen as connected. Oh yeah, and 2 men tied to car bombs. Reporter also in Utah. What is happening in Utah? Everyone is saying. Adib Nasir from Pakistan was just arrested in Utah. They're both facing multiple felonies, including threats of terrorism, held without bail. So are they American citizens? They're from Pakistan. So are they immigrants? You can see there the charges. Look at that. They're listed as white. Look at that. So they're being booked as white. Adib Ahmed Nasir is being booked as white, even though he's from Pakistan. So this will go under the classification for the FBI as white terrorism plot. Is that what's going to happen now? I'm reading the AP article about the 2 men. Fox News, I can't notice that the article intentionally leaves out their names. Wow, would you look at that? AP and ABC News refusing to give the names of these 2 Pakistanis. Why is that? The entire article included just the screenshot below. That's it. ABC News refusing to report on the names. They're booked as white. I'm not kidding. Adib and Aldi are white, according to the booking paperwork. Now, this is something that's, I think, critically important. Where, I mean, this would have to be then the local jail, the FBI in charge. So I'm going to ask the FBI about this. This is what we're talking about, though. It cannot be allowed to continue. The lies cannot be allowed to continue. We will not live in a lie. The lie is that there is a scourge, a spate, a absolute and total crippling trend of left-wing violence is being committed by left-wing actors, literal terrorists on our soil against the media. Amazing how you don't hear anything about attacks on the press. In fact, they're trying to hide the identity of the attackers. Literal attacks on the press, attacks on free speech, attacks on the nation and what holds it together. It must be crushed. It must be crushed. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what Stephen Miller promises to do right here.
Walk me through, at a high level, like what you and I have been working on, what the whole administration has been working on to try to make sure that we don't reward and promote this craziness.
Yes, so it's an excellent question. I said this before, and but it bears repeating. The last message that Charlie sent me was, I think it was just the day before we lost him, which is that we need to have an organized strategy to go after the left-wing organizations that are promoting violence in this country. And I will write those words onto my heart and I will carry them out. If people ask me, what emotions I'm feeling right now, it's just something people say, you kind of know the answer. There's incredible sadness, but there's incredible anger. And the thing about anger is that unfocused anger or blind rage is not a productive emotion.
Right.
But focused anger, righteous anger, directed for a just cause is one of the most important agents of change in human history.
Charlie showed that. Amen.
And we are going to channel all of the anger that we have over the organized campaign that led to this assassination to uproot and dismantle these terrorist networks. So let me explain a little bit what that means. So,
we've got 30 seconds, so be quick, Stephen.
The organized doxing campaigns, the organized riots, the organized street violence, the organized campaigns of dehumanization, vilification, posting people's addresses, combining that with messaging that's designed to trigger and incite violence, and the actual organized cells that carry out and facilitate the violence, it is a vast domestic terror movement. And with God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks and make America safe again for the American people. It will happen, and we will do it in Charlie's name.